Right guys, so regripping a racket. I'm going to be doing a towel regripping. Jonty's going to be doing a kind of standard grip regripping. So what you're going to need, you're going to need your racket obviously, towel grip, and a good pair of scissors. Because towel grip generally is quite thick, ideally take the grip down to the wood. So take the initial grip off, so you've just got the wood, so it doesn't get too thick in your hand. If you haven't done that before, it's like taking a normal grip off. However, sometimes you get some staples in there which can just be pulled out, unless ideally they're through the handle, in which case they're through the hosel. But if they're at the top, you can just take them out. So starting by taking the sticky bit off, so you've just got the grip and the stick on it, holding your racket upside down. Now we're going to layer only half of the grip on to begin with, so at the bottom, so there's half sticking up, half on, and we're just gently going around. This is just a better way to start mainly towel grip, just because it doesn't, normal grip tends to have a little bit to help you start, whereas because this comes in a roll, this is just a slightly easier way. And then when you're almost back to the centre where you started, just slowly angle it downwards a bit, just so you can start then wrapping it round without overlapping, to ensure that you're getting the kind of the thickness you want. And then from here it's very simple. You're just setting the grip next to the previous bit you've just done, and you're slowly working your way up the racket. Make sure you do press down relatively hard to make sure it sticks. Just doing bit by bit. And then at this point we're sort of deciding how far up we want to go. So often you can come up just to this section, or I like to take mine all the way to the top. I would recommend not going too much up onto the shaft, just because it then can alter the weight balance of the racket. So because I tend to go, I like it a bit higher up, I tend to go a bit higher with this, with the initial bit. Then give yourself a bit of room, because this is where we're going to cut. And the big thing with cutting is you're not cutting straight down. We want to cut a nice angle, because then it continues to sit next to the previous grip and it's a bit neater. You don't have a rough bit on the edge. So we're cutting across and down the grip and away from us. So that, and then give yourself a bit so it can continue upwards a bit, otherwise we stop a bit too much. Then I like quite a nice long slope. Make sure you use a good pair of scissors as well, otherwise it can get really scrappy and rough. So as you can see, it's a bit of an angle. This one I don't think will go right to the top, but as you can see, that just then wraps around nice and neat at the top, instead of having a big chunk down the side. You can add then some tape if you want. I find towel grip is pretty good at sticking, so it won't often roll off. And the thing with towel grip is you do tend to change them quite often if you're playing a lot. I tend to change mine maybe once a week. And then just with this bottom bit, all it does is folds in. So it's all nice and neat. So that's all folded in, that's all wrapped at the top. Last little trick, be very careful with your scissors. Open them up, and we're just going to use one blade. And a lot of grips, the towel grips at the start can be quite slippy. So we're just going to use this, go up and down quite hard, and it just fluffs it up a bit. Doesn't ruin the grip at all, but it just makes it a bit less slippy in our hand. So there you go, how to grip a racket.